Welcome to Heek Sunt Dragon. Here be dragons. So, we are back with more news, tomfoolery, and dumbassery. So, supposedly, Harvard professor Avi Loeb has found fragments of alien technology. At least the CBS station is being a little bit more open about what's going on, but other news articles have been all, Harvard professor has found alien spacecraft in the ocean, and he's found evidence of actual alien spacecraft, and etc., which is all just complete BS. And that's not what's being said at all. But you know how the news media gets. Now, I'm not into the whole fake news media thing, but the media is really bad at interpreting science and understanding science. And it's really good at sensationalizing science and, well, twisting what's really being said to get more views. So, what's really going on here? Well, let's take a look.
Could extraterrestrials be walking among us?
I've been meaning to tell you something.
I suspected. Okay, the answer is probably not. But a group of researchers at Harvard University think they may have found alien technology here on Earth.
Yeah, that it likely made the journey here on a meteor from another solar system. WBZ's Mike Sullivan shows us the out-of-the-world find, new at 6.
It's history in a box from light years away.
That we delivered from the expedition.
Pulled from the ocean, brought to Harvard.
We are now taking them for analysis.
Fragments from a unique meteor that Harvard professor Avi Loeb believes could be from an alien gadget, maybe even a spaceship.
You can't even see them because they are so tiny.
Loeb just brought them back from an expedition from the waters off of Papua New Guinea.
We found 10 spherules. These are almost perfect spheres, metallic marbles.
They came from a meteor known as IM-1. The U.S. Space Command confirming to 99.999% certainty that it came from another solar system. It was first detected by the U.S. in 2014.
We received from the U.S. government the location of the meteor to within 10 kilometers.
That's a big area, Loeb saying roughly the size of Boston. They began plotting a trajectory using sound and light variables detected upon its entry.
This orange path, the most likely path, at a fixed distance from the seismometer.
Their boat, the Silver Star, began taking runs through that area with a meter-wide sled attached to a line.
That was covered with magnets on both sides, and we tried to place it on the ocean floor and drag it with the ship.
Most of their findings were covered in volcanic ash. Amongst the debris were tiny spherules of material, sub-millimeter in size.
When you look at them through a microscope, they look very distinct from the background.
Loeb saying the spherules almost appear to look like Earth and are mostly made of iron.
We collected those. We found about 50 of them.
He says the material strength in the spherules are tougher than any space rock ever cataloged by NASA.
Its speed outside the solar system was 60 kilometers per second, faster than 95% of all stars in the vicinity of the sun.
With those two factors combined,
suggested potentially that it could be a spacecraft from another civilization, some technological gadget.
He likens it to the...
Okay, so it could be a spacecraft. It could be. Now, here's what's going on with Avi Loeb. Everyone, the media makes it sound like he keeps finding alien spacecraft everywhere, but that's not what's really going on. There was Oumuamua, there's been a couple other things. Basically, what Avi Loeb is saying is that if there are aliens out there, and they do have space technology, there's probably going to be a lot of parts, flying around. I mean, just our own, little tiny space exploration has sent probes flying out, just off into the galaxy, rocket parts, etc. Things just go flying out, and some of that's going to escape the solar system and head off in other places. Now, there's pretty much zero chance for an actual alien to come and visit Earth for many reasons. One, just the amount of time it takes, and there's no special, physics bending thing to make a spaceship go incredibly fast to get here. So it's just not possible. Plus, with the way that the galaxy is expanding, with our little clusters getting closer together, yet getting further apart from each other. Even if you actually try to go from one point to another at the speed of light, you're just going to keep getting further away from the area you're trying to get to because it's expanding faster than the speed of light. That's just with how the galaxy is expanding. So traveling is very hard, but a non-organic living being, so a spaceship, space junk, something like that, could very easily make its way here accidentally. Purposely, maybe not. It's really, really hard to pinpoint Earth and find it. It's really hard to find Earth. Our radio signals have not gone out that far, really. So, this is what Avi is saying. We detect something that's come from a different solar system, okay? There's a chance there that it could be alien technology. A chance, a very, very small chance. But if we want to start looking for alien technology, then let's start examining all of the material coming in from outside the solar system, especially like stuff that's crashed here on Earth, or like Oumuamua. The chances that it was an alien spaceship were so minuscule to be, basically it wasn't. But might as well just take a look. That's what he's been saying. So what he's really doing here is going, let's take a look and see what this was made out of. Maybe by chance this was some piece of, an alien spacecraft that got thrown out, out of its solar system. It was ejected from a ship or something and it just coasted all the way over here. Most likely not, but you never know. So you might as well check. Because if there is alien life out there, there's going to be a lot of it. And if it does have space technology, there's going to be a lot of stuff flying around. So we might just find something. This is not really that conclusive. So he's found ultra-strong spheres. And so, it's an alloy. This could have just been mixed by the, asteroid melting. Now, the spheres, this is very normal. When things melt and fall, falling through the atmosphere, they turn into a ball and cool. In fact, we've used this very technology for a very long time. This is how we actually used to make things and still make things like BBs and for shotguns and a bunch of other stuff. It's called a shot tower. And this is how we used to make BBs and everything. You take a big tower. Here's one in Iowa. Okay? And you would take liquid lead and drop all the little dots of liquid lead down the chimney. And as they fall, they cool. But since it's in free fall, just like in zero gravity, like in space, it forms into a ball and cools. Then you have a ball, and it hits the water and cools off completely. And you now have nice, almost perfect spheres. So you would expect to see spheres. That's got nothing to do with it. But, here's the media saying, oh, we have perfect spheres. How could that happen? Well, very easily. But so that's what's going on with this. Now, this hasn't been peer-reviewed yet. There's really nothing to it yet other than just, it's not even a hypothesis. It's nowhere near a hypothesis. It's just a random maybe. Really, really slim, but maybe. So that's what's going on with Avi Loeb. And that is why we keep hearing this weird stuff like this that just is taken so far out of context just for good media to people are getting the wrong idea of what's going on. It's just, it gets me at times. I really wish the media would represent science a little bit better and actually represent the facts rather than just going for more views by using sensational headlines and twisting what's really been said. Anyways, on to the supposedly crashed spacecraft in Las Vegas and the big 10-foot tall aliens or whatever. Seems that there's been a little change in that, and it's really maybe not as it all appears. Although you don't hear that. The only place I've heard anything following up from the big, these people saw aliens in their backyard, was on a local news segment in Vegas. everyone else heard aliens and they stopped there. They didn't want to hear anything, disregarding those aliens or debunking them. So let's take a look at that.
It was the streak seen across the sky, now seen around the world. This as our 8 News Now investigators confirm Metro actually set up cameras at this home where a family called 911 claiming to see aliens in their backyard. And tonight, a fierce debate is underway about the legitimacy of an alleged UFO crash. Good evening, I'm Janice Valdez.
And I'm Brian Loftus. Our 8 News Now investigators reporting about terrified members of a local family who told police they had aliens in their backyard. Chief Investigator George Knapp here to piece it all together.
As with all things UFO, the public debate is ferocious and ongoing. Was it all a hoax? Were we duped? Was it all an evil plot, a cover-up, all of the above?
Now, this is the station that broke the alien sighting in the first place. So, this holds a lot of validity to the case, and it's a pretty big deal. So, let's continue.
We took another look at the hubbub to separate wheat from chaff. The fireball captured on a police body cam on the night of April 30th was real. The American Meteor Society says witnesses reported seeing it all across the West, from northeastern Utah to Southern California. Another Las Vegas resident sent us a video of the same object recorded on her home camera.
Investigation by Nexstar station KLAS.
As the story of the Las Vegas incident spread across newscasts and social media, one of NASA's planetary defense officers weighed in to say it was likely a small meteor that fell to Earth hundreds of miles away from Las Vegas. Police videos obtained by 8 News Now indicate Metro officers were among the witnesses.
Yeah, now that's very true, and that's something I've been saying since this broke, that when you see a meteor streak in the sky, those things are so high up. I mean, we're talking miles up. We're almost probably still in space. They're just starting to burn up. That's when you see that initial flash. And they travel hundreds of miles. So just because you see one, it's not falling right over your head. It's by the time you see it, the thing is long gone over the horizon. Whatever they saw there, that was not coming at them falling straight down. That thing landed a far, far, far distance away. If it even landed, most likely it just burnt up and that was it. Anyways.
My partner said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious.
The appearance of the meteor seemingly triggered the events that followed. A frightened family called 911 and told police they had 10-foot-tall alien beings in their backyard. Officers responded to the home minutes later, interviewed the witnesses, canvassed the area, and cautiously inspected the backyard to look for intruders. One thing noticed by the officers was a circle in the soil. In conversations with us and in a podcast interview, Angel, the main witness, suggested the circle might have been created when an unknown object landed in the yard.
Sure it was, because those circles absolutely appeared right after this thing landed.
Social media sleuths have since pointed out that the circular image has been viewable via Google Earth for more than a year. The family told us by phone they had seen suspicious vehicles with men in black types checking out their home. Turns out there is substance to that. A retired police officer fessed up on News Nation that he spent days staking out the house to see what, if anything, unfolded.
Well, yeah, I mean, what do you expect? You put out a national news thing that, someone saw 10-foot tall aliens, and amazingly a lot of people buy this for some reason. I don't know why everyone bought it. You're going to have more than just one guy heading out there trying to, potentially find these aliens. I mean, people are still doing this out in places where supposedly there were aliens seen, 50 years ago. They aren't still out there. If they were there, which they weren't, but if they were, they're long gone by now anyways. But they weren't out there. That's, anyways.
What about those reports that Metro installed a special surveillance camera atop the house, presumably to watch for intruders, human or otherwise, or overzealous media? Turns out that's true as well. Metro confirmed as much in a statement to 8 News Now's David Charnes. The system stayed on the roof for days. What about the Ring camera video with the weird noise? The main witness, Angel, intimated to us the video was recorded by one of his neighbors, and the audio was from the April 30th UFO crash. It wasn't. The security camera video was recorded in mid-April, according to the man who first posted the clip. He doesn't want his name used, but says the recording was from a fireball that passed over his home in the southwestern part of the valley 2 weeks prior to the alleged alien encounter.
Right. So, see, everyone was believing this 10-foot tall alien because this guy had no reason to lie. He was a stand-up guy, you know, he doesn't tell lies or anything. Well, so far it seems like several things that he said have been proven to have been quite wrong, that he completely just fabricated. So, why should we even believe him anymore? We shouldn't. You know, maybe he saw something. Maybe he didn't. He couldn't quite tell what it was. And then, you know, in that state of anxiety, you know, oh, there's a meteor in the sky. And, oh, you know, pareidolia pops in. And, oh, my God, is that a 10-foot tall alien? No, it's a shrub at night with light hitting it weird. But, you know, by the time you figure that out, now the entire world thinks that you've seen 10-foot tall aliens. And you can't just back down from that because, you know... You look like an idiot, and now you're getting a whole bunch of attention, so off we go. Anyways.
The family declined to be interviewed by us, but members have spoken elsewhere and stick to their claims of seeing aliens in the backyard. Dozens of people on social media have analyzed and dissected the images with various claims of aliens spotted in the shadows. Police do not believe this was a hoax call, which could be a crime.
I love it. Tons of social media people are seeing aliens all over the place in the photos, which I've seen these photos, and there are no aliens. It's all pareidolia. I mean, they have like images of aliens sitting in a forklift. You're like, a 10-foot tall alien won't fit in a forklift, let alone where they jump in there and try to hide in an open cab forklift. And these are aliens from a different galaxy. They're going to be a lot smarter than that. I mean, most likely they're going to have some type of camouflage or something. And most likely they aren't going to crash in the first place. How are you going to... I mean, it's amazing. These super advanced, super intelligent aliens can make it all the way here from who knows where. Something that almost pretty much violates the laws of physics. And yet, as soon as they get here, they keep crashing. How can a ship that unreliable make it all the way here? I mean... These claims are really ridiculous just when you bring in logic. Now, this is why, like, Avi's idea is feasible. He actually has actual science in there, and he's not saying that these are all really aliens. It's just there's a possibility. If we want to try and look for any sign of aliens, this is where we should really start looking. At least this is the only place we can really start looking until we, you know, develop our technology enough to actually start heading out there and looking even further.
If done intentionally. In the fervid swamp known as UFO world, our coverage of the story was itself seen as a dastardly plot to distract attention away from a prominent whistleblower named David Grush, who stepped forward around the same time. Grush unveiled his explosive on-camera account on News Nation, which is owned by the parent company of KLAS. In spite of the local news story, Grush's story was reported by news media all over the world. Curses foiled again.
All right. So, I mean, what do you make of this whistleblower, David Grush?
He first reached out to me about a year ago. We've been in contact ever since. He's the real deal.
All right, now Grush. He's the one, I believe, that started the whole UAP thing by leaking those Tic Tac videos and stuff in the first place, which have all been proven, or they've all been debunked and have been proven to be completely different objects. And looking into his claims even further, he's never actually seen any alien technology himself. He was told by someone in the government that they had been told by someone that supposedly saw alien craft being, you know, secreted away and stored off in the government. Yeah, that's not really what I call compelling evidence. Once you get down to it, this guy, he's leaked material before, so he's not a scientist or anything. It's just, So, no, we shouldn't just buy this. In fact, we haven't heard anything about this guy in, well, it's been at least a month. Now there's actually a pretty good video from Thunderfoot that debunks him quite well too, which I will throw in the description and stuff. Now, another great thing that I am going to do a video on probably tomorrow is that the James Webb has finally taken a look at the TRAPPIST system, which are some potential habitable planets. And unfortunately, it looks like they are not habitable. I believe it appears that we did find oxygen, but it was such a low amount, like less than what Mars has, that these aren't really going to be habitable planets. But I'm going to take a little bit more in-depth look into that, and I should have that video out tomorrow. Anyways, have a great day.